So again, thank you so much. And I will pass it over to Rosa.
Thank you so much, Brady, and thank you, Cindy, for the today's sessions. So my name is Rosa Chukalewska. I'm an assistant professor in the Environment and Sustainability program here at Granville campus, and I'm a member of the Atlantic PhiLab Hub as well. Having a little bit of connectivity difficulty today, so if at any point either my video or something else goes, please let me know because I probably won't notice, unfortunately. So I'm really delighted today to be moderating our panel discussion for this afternoon, which is about community investment and philanthropy. We have three wonderful speakers who are Joan Cranston from the Bombay Cottage Hospital Heritage Corporation, Ryan Gibson from the University of Guelph, and Susan Hirschberg from the Rural Communities Foundation of Nova Scotia. We have 45 minutes for ask each speaker about 10 minutes outlining their experience with community investment and philanthropy. We've also asked each of the panelists to consider two questions. How is their organization building community connections? And second, what is the role of innovation in their organization? And innovation can refer to fundraising, partnership building, and the focus of the organization itself. So we'll start with Joni. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Rosa. Rosa's the only person who can talk faster than me. So, and I'm gonna try and talk slowly because I always have so much to say. And but I want to thank you for the opportunity for speaking today. I've never spoken to this kind of a crowd before. I'm actually a physiotherapist, and I've done a lot of social economic development and social enterprise work with 2 heritage projects, but I haven't really gotten into this whole philanthropy side of things until I think Rosa kind of brought me into it as part of the research collective. So just quick background, I am a physiotherapist. I've lived and worked in this old cottage hospital in North Point, Newfoundland for over 30 years. And I worked in it when it was a hospital, and then it closed, worked in the system, hated it, came back to the old cottage hospital, which now runs as a not-for-profit community corporation. And we recently went through one of those federal investment readiness program business planning processes. And the consultant who worked with us couldn't figure us out at all. But what he finally figured we were is a social enterprise incubator hub, because what we do is we're incubating the cottage hospital itself as a social enterprise, adaptively reusing this heritage building. But then we're also incubating other social enterprises. I'm very desperately trying to give birth to a daycare on the lower level right now, but there's a few little barriers, but we shall overcome. So I've been running the Cottage Hospital Heritage Corporation for over 20 years. And then I also started doing my actual real job, a physiotherapy clinic down the coast, which is down north towards St. Anthony. 2 hours north of here is a community called Port-au-Choix in the center of the Great Northern Peninsula. And I was working out of a doctor's office there, but we needed a new space, a new clinic space. And lo and behold, this beautiful heritage community building was for sale for $70,000, which is a very reasonable price considering it had been all upgraded with 400 electrical service. Anyway, so I did what I usually do. I got a group of people together and we formed a not-for-profit. We formed a working group, and we recently incorporated as a not-for-profit community corporation, the Great Northern Peninsula Community Place Corporation. And then the thing that really strengthened the project was I got involved with people like Rosa, and I started with a nurse educator, and this research collective formed around the project, which kind of had a health focus. But how I got into this whole philanthropy racket is that through Rosa's work with the PhiLab, we sort of thought this is a perfect opportunity to see we're going to need community support for the Port-au-Choix projects. So how do we get that community support? What does it look like? And then actually we can do a case study comparison between the Cottage Hospital Heritage Corporation, which has a different type of community support, and I would say much more limited, and then this new project, which has just got incredible community support. So, so this leads into the sort of philanthropy part of it. And I looked at different definitions of philanthropy. I love the one that says it means literally love of mankind, because that's what we all do this for. And the one about philanthropy being more long-term and strategic and helping people over a number of years, focusing on helping people and solving their problems over the long term. So a much more empowering definition of philanthropy. We don't have some rich millionaire who's going to parachute in and give a bunch of money and save the community. The approach that we're taking with the Porter Schwa project, and which has worked wonderfully well for us so far, is that we're focusing on letting the community understand that what they're doing is investing in themselves, right? They're not giving money to a faraway charity, they're investing in themselves. So how does our organization build community connections? And this is a key to our success, I think. We have secret weapons in our board. I'm a physiotherapist, so I've treated all the people. I have personal individual connections with them. They can see the value of what I'm trying to build. They know what I'm talking about. My board of directors down there, the town manager is my chairperson. She's also on the Heritage Committee. My vice chair is the pharmacist, business owner, really helps people with their health. My secretary is a Stats Canada field worker. My treasurer, it works for the Family Resource Centre, heavily involved with the Church Aboriginal Women's Circle. Then I have a business owner, Wise Elders, one of our board members. I have the mayor, Lobster Fisherman Enterprise owner, is one of my board members. And the other secret weapon, our newest board member, is a strategic transformation specialist from Porter Schwa, worked away internationally, worked on Y2K and bank fraud, money laundering stuff, big strategist. She's on my board. So, and all these people are connected into the community. So what we did that was innovative, I think, is that I've never done this before. So that's innovative, making it up as you go along. That's innovative. But I also had an evidence base for what I was doing with Rosa and the PhiLab and the newsletters that come out through that. And Rosa got a student, Samantha Young, who I think you heard from yesterday, who did some research on the kind of the lay of the land and maybe the best approaches. So she said that the sort of social business model is a blended model, and that might be the best fit for what we wanted to do, and takes wants and needs into account. Builds in hope for growth in the community, and it's also a scalable model. So we're kind of following that model. And the importance of thank you. When you're making an ask, the importance of thank you can't be underestimated. So took all those lessons. There's another economic social enterprise model based out of Fogo Island, the PLACE model. Natalie Slawinski's the researcher that's done a lot of research on that. Can't go into that right now. I also took a physio approach. So what we do as physios, we find the pain and we try to soothe it, find the ways to address it. So the pain was the lack of service in the community. Then we mobilize people, then we decided the next approach to this project to build the community support is to mobilize the community assets. Porter Schwa is a very well-off fishing community, so we needed to mobilize those assets. That builds strength in the community. And what we did through mobilizing the assets through a variety of ways was the community is definitely stronger now because they're investing in themselves, which leads to the increased level of function in physio terms, but in economic terms would be building community resilience. So how do we mobilize all those community assets? In a variety of ways: word of mouth conversations, phone calls, walking into stores, telling them what we're about, saying that I'll be back, I want to know how you can help. We understand it's hard times right now post-COVID, so I'm not going to ask you to give anything more than you can, but I want you to be part of what we're doing. So we'll ask you to give something. And everybody ended up giving something. Well, most, not all, a lot. And so we asked them to give what they could. Some businesses made donations of $500, $200, $100. We developed a sponsorship program. They thought I was crazy, starting with 1,000 for bronze, silver's 5, gold is 10, and platinum is 50. But we've now got 1 silver sponsor, Newfoundland Labrador Hydro, and 6 bronze sponsors, including Harbour Authority Lions Club, a grocery store, a paint shop, and another business. So then the small business donations, the sponsorships, and then, but we needed an event. We needed a way to get money out of fishermen, because you can't go to them at the beginning of the season. Okay, 2 minutes, I can do that. We can't go to them at the beginning of the season when they're spending all their money and they haven't yet got their revenue. So the mayor on our board, so what you need to do is get them together on a Saturday night at an event and find ways for them to spend their money. So we kind of took a Ducks Unlimited model of doing an auction. It started supposed to be a benefit concert, live music, turned into a live and silent auction. got everybody together, a great time. Even in COVID, we did it safely because we sat them in tables with their bubbles. There was a gala event, white tablecloths and tea lights on the table. We transformed the room with dollar store items, some of which were donated. And we got people together in the room for the first major event like this post-COVID, did it safely. We raised $10,700 there in one night. And plus we have the, over 11,000 in sponsors, about 5,000 in donations, and the town council is loaning us $70,000 interest-free to buy the building. So I'm just amazed at what just happened in Port au Choix over the last 2 weeks. I'm blown away. I don't know quite what we did, but thanks for the opportunity to reflect on what we did and maybe take a few lessons and hints and share them and see what you all think of it. Thanks.